Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Rich Herrera from Richmond's Morning News. Going behind the scenes, we're getting ready to start the show today. All right, I got to get organized here. I have a lot going on in the program today. We're going to, of course, talk about Donald Trump's speech yesterday. It's kind of a weird speech, weird in an odd way. How about that? He was talking to 4 different audiences. I'll break that down for you this morning on the program. This is an interesting one. Outrage yesterday. NAACP had a press conference over at Capitol Square. They're mad about some of the flyers that have been going out and gerrymandering, redistricting, and they're upset with a man named A.C. Cordoza, was a former House Delegate member. He's coming on the program. He'll answer their accusations on the show this morning. You're not going to want to miss that coming up here in the show. Governor Jim Gilmore is going to join us. We'll talk to him about Donald Trump's speech. We'll talk to him about the gerrymandering that's been going on. Governor Allen, who will join us tomorrow, actually challenged Abigail Spanberger to a debate over all of this. So all that coming up. Oh, wait a minute. Time for us to get going. Here we go. Make sure you tune in either on News Radio WRVA 1140 AM, 96.1 FM, or listen on the app. All right, here we go. Time for Richmond's Morning News, everybody. It is 6:03 in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and you are listening to the Voice of Virginia, News Radio WRVA. Good morning, Gary Hess. Good morning, Super Dave Ayler. Good morning, Richmond, Virginia, Central Virginia. Today is Thursday, April 7th. Time to get up, time to get going. We've got a lot going on today, this morning here on Richmond's Morning News. By the way, those of you that are going to be watching this on YouTube, hello. Make sure you tune in every morning beginning at 6 a.m. I got a lot of great guests, some interesting guests coming up on the program today. Oh, boy. One more opportunity today. I see that the money machine is still here. In fact, those on YouTube, let me turn this around. That's the money machine right there. It's got a bunch of sacks of cash in there. We're going to give you a chance to win $100,000 because we're celebrating 100 years of News Radio WRVA. We'll do that coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. 9 o'clock hour, you're going to get a chance to win $100,000. I so desperately want to give this away and not let Jeff Katz do it. I'll just be competitive. I want to give away the money, so make sure you're listening. In the 9 o'clock hour, we ask for caller number 11. You can win $100,000. All right, a lot to talk about in the program today. Again, some special guests coming up. We'll talk with Governor Gilmore as we do every Thursday. So let's get after it right now. We'll begin with Richmond's Morning News Brief. Here's all the things you need to know this morning. Your top 5 to get your day started the right way. Story number 1. Donald Trump gave a speech last night. People are still kind of scratching their head going, what exactly was he trying to get across? What exactly was he saying? Here's a report from Fox News. So then here's a report from Grinnell Scott.
The United States saying it's decimated Iran's military and crushed its nuclear ambition.
Somebody laughed at me and go, Rich, why are you showing yourself on YouTube drinking Diet Coke? I get dry, and then last night I forgot to take my Claritin when I went to bed. I was so tired after the speech, so I took it this morning, so I'm a little stuffed up this morning, and we're just barely starting with all of the pollen. Ugh. All right, here we go. Coming back in just a couple seconds here. Here we go.
Expects up to 3 weeks more of intense firing, adding he intends for the conflict to end shortly. Grinnell Scott, Fox News.
Donald Trump's speech last night was kind of like a Grateful Dead song. If you know anything about the Grateful Dead, it's very unusual. It's very different, the harmonies and all the rest of that. But if you go down the rabbit hole a little bit with the Grateful Dead, each player in the band was doing their very own song. And when those songs are sewn together, and they're all independent. Jerry Garcia's doing one thing, Bob Ware is doing another. They're all independently playing their own song. But then, when they interweave them together, it becomes the sound of the Grateful Dead. I'm going to explain why Donald Trump's speech last night was a little bit like the Grateful Dead, coming up a little bit later in the program. All right, big story number 2. NAACP last night, or yesterday afternoon, I should say, had a press conference. They're upset about some of the flyers that have been sent out around Virginia. That's going to be our second big story that we're going to cover today here on Richmond's Morning News.
In 2019, or a recent date taken out of context, designed to confuse everyone into voting no.
So the NAACP had a press conference yesterday at Capitol Square, and they're very outraged at some flyers that have been going out with photos of Barack Obama, photos of Abigail Spanberger, saying vote no on gerrymandering, with old quotes saying they're taken out of context. The man behind a lot of these is A.C. Cardoza. He's a former member of the House of Delegates. I met him probably about 3 weeks ago in the General Assembly building. See, I told you I was kind of dry right here. Sat down with him, and he says, you know what? This gerrymandering is not good. In fact, he's the one who pointed out to me, we have two different congressional districts that were minority majority, meaning they were black-leaning districts. Those have been wiped out under these new maps to give the advantage, to take the advantage away of the proportionality of racial balance in those districts. They were majority black, majority people of color. Now they're majority white. They've wiped those away in these new gerrymandering districts. He pointed that out, but nobody else has. I'm going to tell you why a little bit later with him, what's going on, and I got my own take on this, so you're going to want to hear that coming up here on Richmond's Morning News. All right, story number 3, birthright citizenship on trial, literally, at the Supreme Court of the United States, otherwise known as SCOTUS. SCOTUS, it's that acronym. I never knew what it was until I started this job. Here's a report from Tanya J. Powers. All right, 6:08. We got to be done here in about 4 minutes with the last couple pieces.
For the plaintiffs, ACLU attorney Cecilia Wong condemned the executive order.
Swaths of American laws would be rendered senseless.
Oh, and then I got to get ready. Here's the other thing that you don't see on the radio, or you don't hear on the radio, is I got this big book of commercial reads that we do. So I got, look, see how big that. So I got to get ready for my read coming up after we get done with the top 5.
To quote, correct long enduring misconceptions of the 14th
Oh,
Amendment.
wait a minute. I lost my script. Oh, there's my script.
Becoming the first sitting president to do so.
I'd be lost without where we're going next.
Fox News.
Okay, so as they have the birthright citizenship argument at the Supreme Court of the United States, it's a slippery slope, and we have to be careful. It's very interesting. I could be born here in the United States, go to England, I'll never be considered an Englishman. You could be born in England, come to the United States, and be considered an American. It's something unique about the United States of America. I'll explain coming up a little bit later on the program. Story number 4, we're back in space.
Number 4.
It's official, NASA has sent 4 astronauts into space on a 10-day journey with the goal of taking a test ride around the moon as part of the Artemis 2 mission. After some minor weather concerns and a couple of issues that were addressed in the last couple of hours of the countdown, the rocket finally made that rumble, taking off at
I watched this, and then I watched it, and then I realized I was watching like on a 2-second delay, so I missed the actual takeoff, so I had to rewind it. Because I had fast forwarded, and then I paused, and then I just messed up on my YouTube TV. So I walked downstairs, hey, they're going to launch in 2 minutes, and my wife said, no, they launched 2 minutes. They're like, oh, I'm behind.
At the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, Brandy Campbell, Fox Weather.
So it's a big deal for the United States to get back into space. You realize we've been using Elon Musk's SpaceX to get back and forth to the International Space Station. We had decommissioned the space shuttle program years ago, and Donald Trump said, hey, we're going back to the moon. That's what he's doing. So Artemis 2 is going to be a 10-day mission, basically a test drive for the new space vehicle for the United States of America. A lot of people are excited about that. I watched it. Dave, did you watch any of it? He loves that kind of stuff. All right, I'll be honest. I was watching it on, I have YouTube TV at home, right? I cut the cord. No, but this tells you that I'm kind of a dope. I was watching it, but I had paused it for something. Oh, somebody called, so I paused it earlier in the day, hit play again, and I'm watching it, but I forgot that I was like on a 5-minute delay because I had a 5-minute phone call. So I'm like, okay, hey, honey, they're going to launch in like 5 minutes. And she goes, They already did, you big dummy. I'm like, oh man, I missed. I was sitting there waiting for the countdown, so I had to fast forward and got to watch the launch. But I didn't hear the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. They didn't do that. I was kind of bummed out. That's what I was waiting for. Yeah, exactly. There's no. No, there was. I was watching on Fox. Brett Baer threw it over, and then they just kind of take off, but there was no 5, 4, 3, go for liftoff, go for liftoff. We have liftoff. Like they're doing play-by-play. I didn't get that. I was kind of disappointed. All right. Fifth story this morning on Richmond's Morning News. I don't know why this is a story. I don't know why we're going to talk about this. But last night, they crowned the 14th different winner of The Masked Singer. So now we'll play a little soundbite from last night.
The winner of the Golden Mask Trophy, Galaxy Girl, the one and only Ashley Finn.
Okay, can I turn this garbage off? Can I finally put my foot down and tell everybody in Hollywood, get a life, get a job, do something? How in the world have we had 14 different Masked Singer seasons? I know they do a couple of years, so thankfully we haven't had to endure this for 14 years. But seriously, Hollywood, that's the best you could give me in primetime is The Masked Singer with a bunch of B-list celebrities listening to C-list celebrities dress up in preposterous costumes, sing into a mask, and that's what we call entertainment. I'm telling you, television as we know it is garbage. Okay, I know there's too many options, there's too many televisions out there, there's too many channels out there. I watch too much YouTube, but seriously, I would watch network TV if you didn't give me garbage like The Masked Singer. And I'm not sure what's worse. The fact that you pass it off as entertainment, or the fact that people actually watch The Masked Singer, that people actually like the show. Seriously, I'd rather go to a karaoke bar. I'd rather have a live feed of a karaoke bar where maybe somebody knows how to sing than watching C-list celebrities who we've never heard of. Jessica Simpson, who won that, by the way? Yeah, I don't know. Ashley Simpson. It's not even Jessica Simpson. It's her little sister who appeared in a couple of videos, and all of a sudden, they're watching her on primetime television. Seriously, Hollywood, television networks, get a life, come up with something new. And don't get me started on all the reboots. There's no new stories out there. There's nothing new that you can come up with. Let's just reboot all the stories that you've ever told from the history of time on. Again, I'm starting to feel like that get off my lawn, be an old man guy. What do you guys think? 833-804-1140. We read our best text messages coming up 6:50, 7:50, and 8:50 each hour. Okay. I got to tell you about Colette.